Recent videos and stories have revealed shocking claims about the relationships between Diddy, Usher, and Justin Bieber, changing how people see these music stars. Usher, who is one of Diddy's most well-known mentees, has finally spoken up, sharing some troubling details about his past with Diddy. What he said also makes people wonder about how it might have affected Justin Bieber. This new information points to a disturbing history of people being taken advantage of and controlled in the music business. It all started when Usher, who was only 14 years old at the time, was sent to live with Diddy in New York. His mentor, L.A. Reid, believed that being around Diddy would make Usher tougher and help him get more in touch with a hip-hop sound. But what was supposed to be a good career move might have led to something much worse. Usher has suggested that his time with Diddy included weird and uncomfortable situations, many of which he didn't really understand back then.
Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Even though people usually see Diddy as a helpful mentor, more stories are coming out that suggest something much darker. For years, there have been rumors about what really happened while Usher lived with Diddy, including some serious incidents that supposedly landed Usher in the hospital. Now, these claims are starting to line up with other troubling stories involving young artists, especially Justin Bieber. Usher was the one who introduced Bieber to the world, and Bieber, like Usher, was only 14 when he first started working with Diddy. At the time, Diddy had a big part in guiding Bieber's early career. But now, new information hints that Bieber may have also been a victim of the same kind of manipulation Usher experienced. Usher's time with Diddy wasn't just about learning the ropes of the music industry. Usher has shared vague stories about the things he saw while staying with the music star, but he's careful not to go into too much detail. He once called the experience curious, and said he was too young to fully understand what was going on around him. Talking about that time, Usher said, "I moved to New York City and I lived with Puffy for a year. That was L.A. Reid's idea. You're going to go to Puffy Flavor Camp." Usher has mentioned seeing some really strange and wild things, like non-stop parties filled with women. His stories have raised serious concerns that what he went through was far from normal for a teenager.
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
One of the most concerning claims involves an incident where Usher was reportedly hurt. A source has said that Diddy sent him to the hospital, and some of the rumors about the injuries suggest that it was more than just physical harm.
I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story.
Justin Bieber's experience with Diddy seems to have followed a similar pattern. After Usher became a huge star, he helped introduce Bieber to L.A. Reid and the larger music industry. At first, Usher seemed to be a supportive mentor for Bieber, guiding him through the early stages of his career. But now, it looks like there could have been darker things happening behind the scenes.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
Just like Usher was sent to live with Diddy when he was young, Justin Bieber was also introduced to Diddy's world early in his career. Their relationship raised some concerns, especially given Diddy's history with young artists. Even though their interactions were presented as friendly and professional, new videos and stories suggest that Diddy's involvement with Bieber might not have been as harmless as it seemed. Insiders have now come forward, saying that people close to Bieber felt uneasy about how Diddy treated him. Bieber's team was reportedly hesitant to let him spend too much time with Diddy, worried that what happened with Usher could happen again. Despite these concerns, Bieber still visited Diddy's mansion, and one incident in particular has caused a lot of controversy. At just 15 years old, Bieber reportedly spent 48 hours at Diddy's house, completely unsupervised. In a video clip, Diddy talked excitedly about the experience, saying they had the time of their lives. Although the details of what went on during those 2 days were unclear, Diddy's comments made a lot of people uncomfortable. He even joked about going crazy during their time together, which only added to the concern about what might have happened.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. they're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
Bieber's close connection with Diddy during his teenage years, much like Usher, has raised serious questions about what really happened behind the scenes. Diddy's habit of surrounding himself with young male artists and the strange dynamics in these relationships are now being closely examined. The release of old footage showing Diddy interacting with Bieber has only fueled more speculation. In one unsettling video, Diddy asked Bieber why they didn't hang out anymore, pointing out that Bieber had stopped reaching out to him. Bieber, looking uncomfortable, replied that Diddy never had his phone number. This awkward interaction, along with other clips, has made people wonder if Bieber was purposely trying to create distance from Diddy as he got older and began to understand what was really going on.
Everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
Now, with new information coming to light, people close to Bieber have revealed that he has been told to completely cut ties with Diddy. Sources say Bieber feels disgusted by the growing number of allegations against Diddy and is having a hard time coming to terms with the dark experiences tied to his former mentor. The stories about how Diddy treated both Usher and Bieber reveal a troubling pattern of control and exploitation. For years, Diddy has kept up a public image as a powerful and successful figure in the music industry. But these new details show a different side, one involving manipulation and inappropriate behavior toward the young artists around him. One of the most damaging claims comes from someone who said that Bieber was basically thrown to the wolves by his parents and management team. The source explained that, just like Usher, Bieber was sent to Diddy's parties and exposed to an adult world before he was ready to handle it. While people often credit Bieber's early success to his talent and hard work, it now seems that there might have been a much darker side to his rise to fame, possibly involving grooming and exploitation.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
Bieber has reportedly been deeply shaken by these new revelations, especially as he looks back on his teenage years and reflects on the impact Diddy had on his life. The allegations have forced him to reconsider his past relationship with Diddy and think carefully about the role Usher played in bringing him into that world. Usher's connection to Diddy and his involvement in introducing Bieber to the music industry are now under more scrutiny. While Usher has built a successful career, these revelations cast a dark shadow over his early years in the business. The fact that Usher experienced questionable things while living with Diddy, and later brought Bieber into that same environment, raises concerns about his involvement, whether or not it was intentional. Usher has often credited Diddy for shaping his career, saying Diddy helped him create his image and sound. But he has stayed silent about the darker aspects of their relationship. Although Usher has hinted at witnessing unsettling events while living with Diddy, he hasn't fully explained what happened. The vague way Usher describes this time leaves people wondering how much he really knew about Diddy's behavior with other young artists, including Bieber.
But I think, I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. All these experiences just readied me for life. So greater than just being an artist, that man helped me understand life. He helped me understand what it was to be an artist. He helped me understand what it was to be passionate about something. He helped me understand culture. He helped me understand business on a different level, because I'm seeing him go from his independence to then becoming Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? And I got a front row seat looking at that.
Despite these concerns, Usher's public image hasn't taken a major hit, and he's still regarded as a music icon. However, the new revelations about what Diddy may have done during Usher's younger years could change how people see Usher, not just as a victim, but also as someone who stood by and watched. The hard truth is that Usher, whether he realized it or not, might have played a role in bringing Bieber into an environment that was harmful and exploitative. As more information surfaces, Sean Diddy Combs' legacy seems to be falling apart. Once celebrated as one of the most influential figures in hip-hop, Diddy's reputation is now at serious risk because of the disturbing stories about his relationships with young male artists like Usher and Justin Bieber. Several former associates and insiders are now speaking out, suggesting that Diddy's actions with Usher and Bieber are just the beginning of a much bigger problem. For years, rumors have swirled about inappropriate behavior, wild parties filled with questionable activities, and Diddy's tendency to surround himself with young artists who looked up to him as a mentor. Now these whispers are being backed by personal accounts and old footage, exposing the strange and unsettling dynamics between Diddy and the artists he mentored.
Usher, I'm tired of Usher.
Oh, okay.
Goofy bitch.
No.
Got your asshole ripped open and the only thing it inspired was loyalty? They ripped your ass open. Gene didn't say it. He said, check the records at the hospital. I'm saying it. You got your ripped open. Then you take Justin Bieber from Lily White, Canada, and take him to the flavor of Fuck Off, the Kitty edition. Get his ripped open. Now everything's coming out, and the first thing you do is run the Bali with another kitty rape who works with the man, L.A. Reid, that sent you to the Diddy flavor freak off.
What once seemed like a professional and supportive relationship between Diddy, Usher, and Justin Bieber is now being seen in a different, more troubling light, one marked by manipulation and possible exploitation. These revelations have left both fans and the music industry in shock, wondering how such disturbing events stayed hidden for so long. Justin Bieber's journey from a teen pop sensation to adulthood has been full of ups and downs, and these new revelations about his early years with Diddy add another complicated layer to his story. In recent years, Bieber has been open about the challenges he faced growing up under intense public scrutiny, including struggles with mental health, substance abuse, and the overwhelming pressure of fame. Now, these claims about his time with Diddy have forced him to confront yet another painful part of his past. Sources close to Bieber say he is deeply disturbed by the allegations against Diddy and is beginning to realize that he may have been manipulated or groomed when he was younger. Bieber's team has reportedly urged him to cut ties with Diddy completely, and he has followed their advice, distancing himself from the music mogul. According to the same sources, Bieber is struggling with feelings of betrayal, not just from Diddy, but from the people around him who let the relationship continue despite warning signs. One insider revealed that Bieber's managers, including Scooter Braun, were concerned about Diddy's influence from the very beginning, but felt powerless to intervene once Bieber became part of Diddy's circle. Bieber's parents, especially his mother, have faced criticism for allowing him to spend time with Diddy unsupervised at such a young age. Some have accused Bieber's inner circle of focusing more on his career than his well-being, throwing him into an adult world he wasn't emotionally prepared to handle. Bieber has reportedly shared with those close to him that he wants to focus on his family and leave his past behind. However, the resurfacing of these stories has made it hard for him to move on. The allegations against Diddy have not only reopened old wounds, but also cast a dark shadow over Bieber's early career, making people question whether he, like Usher, was another victim of exploitation. The ongoing revelations about Diddy, Usher, and Justin Bieber are sending shockwaves through the music industry. Many are now taking a closer look at the culture of power, manipulation, and exploitation that has long been rumored but rarely confronted. For years, Diddy has been a towering figure in hip-hop, with ties to nearly every major artist in the business. But as more people come forward with their stories of mistreatment, the industry is being forced to reckon with its dark history. The accusations against Diddy have sparked deeper investigations into the relationships between powerful executives and young, vulnerable artists. The music industry has always been known for its wild parties and big personalities, but the new stories suggest that there has been a much darker side to this lifestyle all along, one that goes beyond drugs and alcohol, involving the possible grooming and exploitation of underage artists. Several insiders have suggested that Diddy's behavior was an open secret in the industry, with many people turning a blind eye to it. Now, as more allegations come to light, there are growing calls for greater accountability and better protection for young artists. Many are demanding that the music industry introduce stricter safeguards to prevent the exploitation of vulnerable talent. As the accusations against Diddy pile up, the damage to his reputation has become harder to contain. Not only has his public image taken a major hit, but there are also rumors that legal action could be on the way. Former associates and people close to the situation have started to come forward, hinting that more victims could be out there, waiting for the right moment to share their stories. Diddy's empire, which he built over decades, is now facing intense scrutiny, and more revelations could completely unravel his legacy. Usher has also come under fire, not because he's accused of doing anything wrong, but because of his role in bringing Justin Bieber into Diddy's world. Some fans and critics are starting to ask how much Usher knew about Diddy's behavior, and if he could have done more to protect Bieber. If more information surfaces about what Usher saw during his time with Diddy, it could tarnish his reputation too. For Bieber, distancing himself from his past is still an ongoing process. Now that he's a father, he is focused on leaving those difficult years behind and prioritizing his family and mental well-being. However, with these stories coming back into the spotlight, it's clear that the pain from those years will likely continue to follow him for a long time. As Diddy's actions come to light, the music industry is facing a critical moment of self-reflection. How many other young artists were put in vulnerable situations with powerful mentors? Will more victims step forward with their own stories? And most importantly, will the industry finally make the changes needed to protect young stars in the future? What do you think about all of this? Do you believe the allegations involving Diddy, Usher, and Justin Bieber? Has this changed the way you view the music industry and how it treats young artists? Let us know your thoughts down below.